So when you're in the bank deposit screen, let's say, for example, you're going through and checking off a couple of these transactions. So I'm going to check this first one that says Freeman. I'm going to put a check mark on that. But before I put a check mark on Cool Cars, I want to inspect it. So if I click on that transaction now, it allows me, it asks me to leave my bank deposit, which requires me to sort of start over if I am in the process of doing anything. So the only viable solution to not getting out of the screen would be to right click on the transaction and open it in a new tab, which actually works. It works perfectly with your QuickBooks Online. You can do that now. So if you were to make a change in here, let's say you were to change this to a different dollar amount, and then you come down here and click on Save and Close, you could modify it essentially, but it would this tab takes you sort of back to the home page, and then we go back into. I would have to click back to get into bank deposits, and it just creates an excess of tabs for me. So that's how it works now. That's how QuickBooks works now. Let me X out of that. And let's turn on in RightTool the feature to open transaction in a new tab in the deposit window. So let me save that and show you what it looks like when that feature is turned on. So when I have a deposit window, automatically, I actually don't need to right click and click on new tab. Any transaction I click in, so let's say I'm going to mark a couple of transactions here, and this one, AAA construction, let's say I want to change it or inspect it. I'm going to click on it. It automatically opens it in a new tab for me. So let's say I'm making whatever changes to this transaction. Let's say I'm just looking at it, or maybe just changing it, whatever it happens to be. So looking at it or changing it, whatever it happens to be. When I'm done with this, and I click Save and Close, RightTool knows to automatically close it for me because I don't need to do anything with that transaction anymore. Now, if I did change the dollar amount in a transaction, that would require an actual refresh just because of the way QuickBooks works, but at least it didn't kick me out of the transaction. It opened a new tab and it cleanly closed the tab when I was done looking at that transaction.